Hello, today I want to talk about self-determination. I want to talk about making huge investments and having a financial partner to work with. My name is Joshua Thigiru. There are three concepts of businesses that you could adapt and make you much profit. And the first one would be think like an investor. Don't think more of saving in this case. The advantage of thinking like an investor is that you master the art of money. Have you ever reached a time when you felt like you're empty from inside? You're looking for ways to make some profit. You're trying to do some businesses and they're not coming up. Or you even wake up one day and you don't know what to do. I've been in such a situation for a while, and my solution was to have a financing come through, a big financing for that matter, to do a big project. Doing small scale things, they'll always land you in more trouble. It is the secret about money. You can indeed become wealthy by using loan, and you can start a business with loan, in my opinion. But a small investment is something bad. It will make you poor. But a big investment, regardless to whether it's a loan, if you calculate your steps properly, you land into something good. Here's my point. You should work on looking for the best financial partner as far as loans, financing is concerned. That's the most difficult thing to do in business. I've done tons of homework trying to look for real investors, because again, in investments, there are two types of investors: the true investors and the fake investors. And mostly you'll find that in investment, there are some investors who seek for financing some money before they do a deal closure. That's normal. Maybe in them they try to look whether to see if someone is committed or is serious about asking for that funds. And others, you might be consistent and try to sell your business an agenda, and they can just consider financing without your input. My take is that if you seek financing, you have to have a sound business plan, a project that you want to make a difference. It should be very realistic to you, and because once it becomes realistic to you, then obviously it will convince somebody else. Then you have to consult on some few people to see if the whole deal works well with them also. And after that, that's when you go consult, get someone to get that financing. I can't name the exact people who can do the financing, but what we are doing as any investment association, we are trying to develop that aspect whereby we can take good ideas and invest without much questioning of whether you have a good background of finances or not, because everything starts from somewhere. Being an entrepreneur is a tricky entity on its own. Everybody depends on you, whom you've employed, and in some cases you always find that you can have some credit grudge, and nobody of your workers or the deliverables will ever want to understand that you are in a crisis. But when everything is said and done, you need to understand that working around your cash flow is much more important than anything else, and ensuring that you keep floating above water. In order for you to share what you believe you have as far as your project is concerned, you have to write a business plan. A business plan shouldn't be much complicated, although there reaches a time whereby you have to project ahead of time the sums that we expect to be making, let's say in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years to come. So that's where it becomes a little bit tricky, but in the real sense, it should be conveying the information that you want to deliver and which you've understood that should work if you are financed. There is another document that you need to write to help you through the investment process, executive summary. You need to summarize and become extremely elaborate in a very short format, that is in a catchy way to your investor, and to make them understand that it's something that they will come and make some money. Because nobody will want to come and give money and then make losses. Even yourself wouldn't like that. You have to show the profits possibility in your project. My story about financing is usually very complicated because I started with nothing. I was good in giving my ideas to those people who are potential, and they would just invest something close to crowdfunding. But it wouldn't last for long because, as we said sometimes earlier, small money is bad, but anything that would make you move ahead requires to be a bit much. So I was looking for financing, any financing. Back then I was working on wind power projects. It's tricky to put everything working. I can understand how difficult it can be because it has been for me. I started by doing crowdfunding on my first company, which didn't work so well. By the end of that one company, I was able to get slightly bigger amount, which again didn't come through to enable my delivery of products. Back then I was doing wind power projects, and later on I got to automotive. With all that is, I've realized that working around the investment, the bigger deal is the better deal to make a company. And now finally I can say that you plus many other persons might have been having a better advantage, because people like myself who have struggled to grow might provide a good financing platform. But the point here is, instead of savings, try to invest.